advise us on how to reach safety standards that the company is comfortable looking for. And he kept talking about, he was talking about no, that's what I said. The burger's not going to do that. They're great. Yeah. So he thinks we need a brand new burger, which maybe. But I said ours covers infectious diseases. Doesn't matter. We already our insurance covers. No, they said not. Okay. That's what he doesn't understand. Yeah, where's
You guys are going to do this, right? We're going to put my cheat sheet somewhere.
Live on YouTube. All right, peeps. Happy Friday, May 1st, 2020. Renew edition. Okay. We are going to work on some squat specific, I suppose, Kinstretch mobility work today. We'll start with ankles, work through knees, into some pelvis, some more ankle, and then we'll start getting into some glutes and then squat patterning at the end. This should be a kick butt squat pattern builder for you guys. I'm excited for it. So let me close the door here so you can actually see me real quick.
The leg is bad.
Okay, so the first area we're going to get to with this squat focused Kinstretch is going to be working through the ankle pattern. Okay, so what you want to do is just kind of bring your leg over the top of one arm here. Let's kind of trap the knee in position here so that we're trying to move purely from the ankle. So we're just going to sort of point that toe and try to draw the biggest circle we can with just that big toe while keeping the knee locked in place. We'll go 3 circles in one direction. And then we'll head back in the other direction. Using that big toe as kind of like a Sharpie, drawing the biggest possible circle you can. Good. Okay. Once we finish our 3 circles in each direction there, next thing we're gonna want to do is actually move that knee tibial internal external rotation. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to dorsiflex the foot. That's fancy for saying pull your toes towards your shin. And then you're just going to extend that leg up and out. Okay. And then bring that knee, extend up and out, roll that toe back in, pull it back down. Extending that foot up and out, extend, pulling it back in, extend up and out, pull it back in. Let's do one more. Extend up and out, pulling it back in. And now we're going to reverse that. Get that toe turned inward, extend up and out, rotate the toe up and out, Pull it back in. 2, 3, 4. Good. And now we'll switch to ankle on our right side. Okay. So far, so good. We got ankle and knee on that, or knee, left leg warmed up, whichever side you actually did. Cool. Okay. We're going to start with the ankle first. So let's point that toe, bring it up and around the biggest possible circle you can. Up and around. Number 2. Big, slow circle. Number 3. Let's reverse that direction. 1, 2, and 3. Good. Let's finish that knee now. Now we do want this knee to internally and externally rotate. So let's pull the toes up and point out as we extend. Up and in and flex. Up and out as we extend. Up and in as we flex. 2, 3, 4. Let's reverse direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. All right, so we just worked through our ankles and that tibia, lower leg, kind of knee rotation. Next, we're going to go into a saddle position, which is this position here. Okay, so you'll be in that kneeling position. You'll see how my toes are tucked back behind me. We're going to work through some pelvic tilts as we do the saddle position here. Okay, so if you are uncomfortable sitting back on your knees like this, I do suggest you put like a rolled up towel behind your knees, maybe a soft mat, something comfortable so you're not putting that knee in any pain. Okay, as always with these Kinstretch and Renew classes, you don't want to move into pain. Okay, so I'm going to use this little sandbag here since I have it on hand. Okay, I'll just kind of put this gently back behind my knees, right? There's a little bit of support. You could use a yoga block in between your feet. That's entirely fine as well. Okay? So I could easily put something like this in between as I sit back on it. Here, totally fine too, okay? The reason I don't like to use the yoga block in a situation like this is because we are going to try to move the pelvis. So something like a towel or a pillow is probably best in this situation. I'm totally fine being in this saddle pose. So I'm just going to be in this position here. Okay. So now what I want to do here, we're going to end up doing 5 total pelvic tilts. So 5 in each direction. We're going to do a posterior pelvic tilt and an anterior pelvic tilt, right? So I'm going to tip this bucket forward and I'm going to tip this bucket backward. Okay. We'll hold each position 2 seconds at the end range. Okay. So we'll kind of sit up nice and tall here. Let's tuck that pelvis under us for 1, 2. Let's tilt that pelvis forward. 1, 2. Tuck that pelvis under. 1, 2. Tilt that pelvis forward. 1, 2. Tuck that pelvis under. 1, 3. Tilt it forward. 1, 3. Tuck it under. 1, 4. Tilt it forward. 1, 4. Tuck it under. Tilt it forward. Good. So we just did a little pelvic tilting there, okay? Again, we're focused on squat mobility, squat mechanics today. So we want to make sure our pelvis is a little prepared for what we're about to do, okay? So next we're gonna go into this half kneeling sort of crouch position, okay? So we're gonna go through 3 different exercises in sequence here, all on one side before we switch. And a couple of the sequence moves, we're actually gonna do a second set of after we go through the whole sequence once on each side. There'll be a couple that we'll come back to and hit a second time through, okay? So that being said, this little half kneeling crouch position looks sort of like this, right? We're gonna focus on the ankle with what we're doing here right now. I want to be enough in a crouch position. Perhaps you can be supported by, you know, a chair next to you, or do this next to your couch or an exercise box, whatever you have sort of on hand. I don't want you to tip so far forward. See how my heel comes off the ground here? That's you're coming off the ground. If it's a little bit of a smidge off the ground, fantastic, right? You don't have to be totally flat. That's ideal. But if you do come a smidge forward, no harm done, okay? So what we're gonna do when we do this first, let's just kind of hang out and get a nice stretch in this posterior muscles of my leg, my lower leg here, trying to keep that ankle, or sorry, the heel in contact with the ground, while we just get that nice like 70, 80% stretch out of my calf muscles, my Achilles tendon, allowing this to deepen a little bit without pushing it so much, just letting it sort of deepen as we relax into this, okay? We're gonna kind of hold this for about a minute in total, which means maybe another 30, 40 seconds here, okay? Once that 30 to 40 seconds is up, I'm gonna start gradually pushing with my sort of foot knuckles into the ground, working up from maybe like a 15 or 10% start up into like 80%. Once we hit that sort of 80% threshold, I'm gonna ask you guys to push with those front foot knuckles down into the ground as hard as you can for a 10-second count, okay? I'll count us out while we do that. Once that 10-second count is up, we're gonna shift our focus to sort of pulling those toes up toward our knee or shin, okay? For about a slow 15-second count there. Once we finish that, we'll resume back into this sort of stretch position here, okay? We're just trying to unlock the secrets of the ankle joint here, which when we're talking about squat patterns, the things I most see that impede people is, you know, subpar ankle mobility that then disallows you to get deep enough in your squat without major pelvic tuck or major shifting forward, okay? So let's start gently pushing these toe knuckles into the ground at about a 10 to 15% clip. Just kind of gradually increasing. Maybe we're at like 20, 25% now. Still keeping in contact with the ground. 35, 40%. 45, 50%. Just pushing into that ground. 55, 60. 65, 70. You should be shaking a little bit now. 75, 80. And in about 3, 2, 1. Push hard into the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now focus on lifting the toes up off the ground or toward your shin. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then allow yourself to deepen into that stretch. You don't have to push it, just let your leg sort of take itself into that stretch. We'll hold this for around 30 seconds to a minute or so, okay? Once we finish with this little passive stretch here, we're gonna move into some passive end range holds, okay? And I'm gonna demonstrate what that means. We're gonna end up doing 3 sets of these 10-second holds, okay? What we're gonna try to do is, this position that we're stretching in right now, we're gonna try to maintain as much of that with voluntary control as we can. And that's gonna entail us to sort of rock back slightly, but being very like observant and careful to exactly where the point our toes lift off the ground, because it's at that point that we really want to hold this stretch, okay? So let's gently sort of keeping your toes pulled up toward your shin. You're gonna gently rock back to that point where the toes right there for me. 10, 9, 8, 7, hard pull, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into your hold stretch for a second. About a 5-second hold. We're gonna go into set 2, just like that. Right at that point where the toes drift off the floor, hold that hard, like work for it. Let's drift back and pull. 10, 9, 8, pull harder. 7, 6, 5, 4, should feel a burn here. 3, 2, 1, and back down into our stretch. A nice little 5-second break or so here. One more on this side, okay? Let's rock back and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Cool. Next, we're gonna do something called some explosives, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna point our toe and then explosively pull it back up, okay? Explosive ankle dorsiflexion. So let's just kind of lift that leg up like so. You can kind of support it behind the knee here. Point that toe, pull. Slowly point that toe, pull. Slowly point that toe, pull. 3 more. Point that toe, pull. Point that toe, pull. Last one. Point that toe, pull. Good. So that passive end range hold we just did and the explosives, we're going to come back to a second set after we do the other side, okay? So we're going to go through that entire sequence on the left side first set, okay? Let me fix this real quick. Okay, cool. So let's get into that sort of half kneel crouch position on the left. Don't be surprised, like I always say, when you have maybe some discrepancies between that right and left side, okay? So first, let's try to find that stretch position for about a minute or so, where we're just keeping that heel on the ground, okay? Just a nice passive, maybe 70% stretch in that Achilles, a tendon, and then maybe those lower leg muscles. Just trying to find a nice, relaxed stretch position there, okay? Keeping that heel relatively down, in contact with the ground. About another 20 seconds or so. All right, so we're going to start ramping up a little bit of pressure, pushing these toe knuckles into the ground at about 15% or so, keeping that heel down, 20, 25%, 25, 30%, 45%, 50%, 60, 70, 75, 80. Now push as hard as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull those toes up as hard as you can. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, pull, 10, 9, 8, pull, 7, 6, more, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into that passive stretch. About a 30 to 60 second window to stretch here, okay? And remember, after we go through this series of stretch, we're gonna go into that passive end range, kind of pull up and hold, okay? Where we rock back slightly, Let's just hold this for another 30 seconds. All right, guys, we're gonna start to rock back a little bit. As soon as you feel these toes lift off, I mean, it's right there. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rock forward for about 5 seconds. Nice stretch. Rock back into set number 2. 10, 9, pull hard. 8, 7, 6, pull. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rock forward. Rocking back for set 3. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. Remember, we're going to go through that quick explosive work here next, okay? So let's kind of come down to that seated position. Let's support that left leg. We're going to do 6 of these. The one thing I forgot to do on the other side, shame on me, let's hold that last rep for 5 seconds. So I want to point that toe, pull. Point that toe, pull. Point that toe, pull. Point the toe for number 4, pull. Point the toe for number 5, pull. Last one we're gonna hold, point the toe, pull. Hard, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, okay? We're gonna go back to the passive end range hold on the right leg or the other leg, whatever leg you're not working on. So that'll be the rock back toe lift one, okay? So we're in that crouch position, sort of a half kneeling crouch here, and get into your stretch position here. We're not gonna hold this long. Once we get into this position, we're gonna rock back to that toe lift and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lean back in for a couple seconds. Get that stretch. Lean back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lean in. And rocking back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and leaning in for a second. We'll go to that seated position. We'll go to our explosives again, okay? Remember, like I forgot the first time on this side, that last one we're gonna hold for the 5-second pull, okay? You guys should be feeling a little bit of burn in the calves and shins. I mean, I do. Maybe I feel more than you do, but that's because you guys are cooler than I am, okay? So let's support that leg. Let's point the toe, explosive up. Point the toe, explosive up. Point the toe, explode up. And point, explode, number 4. And point, explode, number 5. Point, explode in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Radical. Let's go back to our other side and do our second set of the rock back toe pull and the explosives. Okay, so just like we did that first time, let's kind of set up our deep crouch, half kneel, toe cramp. Good, so just come here. Find that stretch position for a second. Make sure your heel's in contact with the ground. We're gonna rock back slightly. Toes lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lean in. Take a couple seconds here. Rocking back for set 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rocking in. My right big toe is cramping. Yeehaw. Last set on this side. Rock back to a toe lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Let's go to that seated position. We'll do our explosives again on this left side. Okay. Leg is supported. I'm going to point that toe. Explode for number 1. Point that toe. Explode for number 2. Pointing that toe slow. Exploding for 3. Pointing that toe slow. Explode for 4. Pointing that toe slow. Explode for 5. Last one. Explode and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Almost got a hip cramp there too. It's cramp city today, okay? Nervous system's going crazy. All right. Next, we're gonna go into hamstring sniper work. This is where we're gonna go into some knee flexion work, okay? I brought my handy dandy bench here today. You can use a box. Maybe I'll need it, maybe I won't, I hope not, right? But if you need something when you're in a kneeling position like this, right? If you can get into a stretch like so, like I'm not very great at balancing, awesome. I'm gonna end up using my bench as an assistance here, but we're gonna go through and do some stretching through the hip here, as well as some passive holds where we snipe our own hamstrings. It's good times, okay? So let me just move my handy dandy bench over here. Or you can use something like a yoga block if you have that on hand. If you're in this position here. Okay. You could use this at the side. That's fine too. Or sorry, in this position, I suppose. Okay. Well, you're holding on to the foot, but we will need to push our foot into our hand at some point. That's why I suggest that. Okay. I'm gonna use the bench, like I said. All right, guys. So what we're going to do when we do this at first, we're going to go through, we're going to start in a nice passive stretch, okay? So I'm going to be in this half kneeling position here, and I'm going to grab hold of my other foot here, okay? I'm just going to hold this stretch in this position about a minute, holding my foot here, okay? So an alternative for you, I should tell you, by the way, you can do this in a sideline position. If you just have no possibility of grabbing your ankle here, you can do this in a sideline position. Like so. Grab this foot with the top leg here, okay? That's fine to do that too. We're gonna be working on really knee flexion extension here. So if you grab this foot here and you can push into your hand, and we'll be doing holds in this position here. The sideline position is definitely the scaled down way to go. If you just cannot grab your own foot in this half kneel position, because I get it, it's kind of hard for some folks, me too, okay? So assume the position, whatever you're gonna do, we're gonna start getting into our passive hold stretch here. Clock. So I'm gonna have my left leg forward and my right knee down and back. I'm gonna grab my right foot like so. All right, anyway, sorry, clock issues. All right, so stabilized here. I'm gonna grab my right foot and I'm just gonna hold. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. Right now, I'm just gonna stretch this hip flexor, not pushing into my hand, just allowing my tissues to kind of relax, open up. About another 20 seconds or so here. When my 20 seconds is up, I'm going to start ramping up the amount of pushback into my hand with my foot. We'll start at like 15%, work our way up to something like 80. And then once we hit around 80, I'm going to ask you guys for a 10-second max effort push. Okay? Does that make sense? So in about 5 seconds, we're going to start pushing into the hand gently. 2, 1, just gently start pushing in that hand. 15, 20%. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, maybe a little bit of shaking happening, 80%. And I'll push hard as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull that heel to butt as hard as you can for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, heel to butt, 10, 9, 8, don't pull it with your heel, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let that passive stretch deepen a little bit. We'll hold this for about 30 seconds. The same sort of sequence that we did with the ankle, we're gonna follow with this knee flexion here, okay? So about 15 seconds, we're gonna let this relax for a bit, and then we're gonna start working into our passive end range holds, okay? Good, so let's let that leg sort of parachute down for a second, take a break. Now, just like we did with the ankle, when we sort of rocked back and lifted those toes up, we're going to find that stretch in this knee flexion that we can. We're gonna pull that foot to butt, and then we're going to slowly and gently try to relieve pressure and let that go without losing a tremendous amount of distance. Some of us, like me, will lose way more distance than you really want to. Some of you guys are going to be like absolute all-stars and blow me out of the water with this. I love it and I want that. Okay, so we're going to end up doing 3 seconds of 10-second max effort, as heel as high or heel as close to the butt as we can when we do this. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go through this together here. We're going to get in that same position we were in. Let's grab that foot. We're going to get to our passive stretch. Now you're going to hold this stretch and we're going to try to let go of the heel slowly. Pull for 10, 9, 8, 7, pull, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. That's 1, okay? So you might get a hamstring cramp. I get snipered almost every time during this, okay? I can kind of feel one sneaking up on the grass on me now, okay? It's not the end of the world if you get a hamstring cramp. It sucks, but take your time. Just let that cramp kind of come out. You can punch it and beat it up a little bit. That's totally cool. Just don't hurt yourself. Let's go for number 2. Pull that heel to butt, and then you're going to gently just sort of let it slide away in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, max squeeze, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. Good job, guys. 2 down so far. 1 more to go. I'm looking to skip the hamstring cramp fairy. I can cross my fingers and hope that happens, okay? Let's go set 3. So grab that foot. Pulling that heel to butt, and then slowly let it go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Parachute down. I felt it coming on there. I maybe counted a little faster. Okay, I can't confirm or deny that. Okay, Next, we're going to do some explosives here. So that toe is going to be pointed on the ground. You're just going to explode up and slowly back down. Explode up, slowly back down. Explode up, slowly back down. 3 more. Explode up, slowly back down. Explode up, slowly back down. Last one we're going to hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. It kills me every time, okay? But no cramps so far, okay? I probably just jinxed myself, but we're gonna do that same exact thing on the left side. When we come back for our second set on this original leg, we will only be doing the passive holds in the explosives, okay? For this left side though, so our first set, we're gonna go through the entire process we just went through. Cool? Anyone, I'm excited too. Okay. This position here, so now in my case, I'm using the bench as my support. My right leg is up. My left knee is down. I'm gonna grab that left foot with the left hand and just pull that foot into a passive stretch on this left side, okay? We're just gonna hold this for about the next minute or so. It's about a 70% stretch. Remember, if you're lying on your side and doing this, that is 1000% fine too. About 30 seconds left. Deepening that stretch a little bit if you can. You don't have to. If your body says, hey, it's cool, do it, then do it. All right, so in about 10 seconds, we're going to start putting pressure into that hand from the foot. We'll start at like 15, 20% and work our way up the chain, okay? So in about 3, 2, 1, start gently pushing into that hand, about 15, 20%, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, used to be some shaking, 75, 80, and then in 3, 2, 1, maximum push for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now pull that heel towards your butt hard as you can. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly let that leg kind of parachute down. You guys did awesome there, okay? We're gonna just get into our passive range holds here in a second, okay? This is where we bring that heel to butt of a passive stretch as much as we can, and then just gently release, holding that heel as high and as close to the butt as we can under our own power instead of with the support from the hand, okay? That's the difference between passive flexibility, which is sometimes end range that we do not own in a movement, and then the ability to have active mobility, which is what we can actually produce in control. Obviously for us, when we're talking about squatting or jumping or controlling any sort of body weight or external load, control is really nice, right? It's kind of a prerequisite, okay? Otherwise we put ourselves in danger. It's kind of like trying to frogger through traffic. Cool, so let's grab that foot. Let's get in that stretch as high as we can, and then slowly and gently start to let it go. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. Second rep, let's grab that foot. Heels coming up as high as we can. Slowly let it go and hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. Almost got a cramp there. It was so close. Okay. Last set, best set on this side. Let's bring that heel up. Slowly let go of that. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. I feel so lucky to not have a cramp. Okay, let's go into our explosives on this side now. So we're gonna keep that toe pointed and pump up, and then slowly back down. Up, slowly back down. Up, slowly back down. Up, slowly back down. 2 more. Up, slowly back down. Last one we're gonna hold. Up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. We're gonna go set number 2 on that first leg, okay? So for me, that's right leg up. Sorry, left leg up, right leg down, okay? Okay, turn it around here. So this is where we're doing just our passive range holds first, and then our explosives. Cool? Let's go ahead and get your supported position. Let's grab that foot. And slowly bringing it up. That heel as close to your butt as you can. And then just gently let it go a little bit. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. Good job, guys. 1 down, 2 to go. Let's grab that heel. Oh, sorry, bring the foot. Bring that heel to butt. And slowly let it go and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. 2 reps down, 1, and last rep on this side for these today. Okay, let's grab that foot. Heel to butt. Slowly let it keep as high as you can for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. Good job, guys. Let's go through our explosives on this side. We'll take a second here. You're just going to quickly drive that heel to butt, slowly parachute it down, tap, back up for number 2. The 6th rep will hold, okay? Here we go. Let's point that toe and pull. Slowly down. Pop. Slowly down. Pop. Slowly down. Pop. Down for 4. Pop. Down for 5. Last one we hold. Pop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Good job. I am completely amazed. I made it through this entire leg with no cramp. It's like a new PR. It's better than a PR. Okay. So now, other side, for me, my right leg is up, left knee is down. We're only going through passive range holds and explosives, okay? So let's grab that foot. Let's grab that foot here. All right, get that heel to butt as close as we can. Slowly let it go. Now hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and parachute down. 1 down, 2 to go. Let's grab that foot. Bring that heel up. Slowly get it. Hold as high as you can for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Literally, if that was a 12-second hold, I would have gotten a cramp there. Okay. Last one, best one. Let's grab that foot. Heel to butt. And then let's hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Good job, guys. That was our last hold there. We're gonna go through explosives on the 6th rep as we've been doing. Let's hold that last one for 5, okay? So we quick drive heel to butt, slowly parachute down, wash, rinse, repeat for the 6th rep, where we hold for 5. So let's get ready. Let's go. Pop, heel to butt, slowly parachute down. Pop, heel to butt, down for 2. Pop, heel to butt, down for 3. Pop, heel to butt, down for 4. Pop, down for 5. Last one we're gonna hold. Pop, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm excited as all get out. I have no cramps. Radical. Okay. You guys did an excellent job with that. That was hamstring sniper city. I, for one, was incredibly nervous with that. Okay. So what I want to do here is I want to go through 2 sets of spinal segmentation control. Normally when I have you guys do this, some of you might have done this in this quadruped position here, where we do this cat camel. Today we're going to do it from a supine position, lying on our back with a glute bridge. Okay. And what we're going to do is when we do our glute bridge into a raised up position, we're going to be like this. You'll be nice and flat on the ground here, okay? And then when we drive up, you're almost going to drive up so you're balancing on like your upper shoulders, and you're only going to place your spine down 1 segment at a time. So that the last thing to touch down is going to be your low back and then your pelvis, like that, okay? And then what you'll do is come back up and we'll go through that, okay? So we're going to do that together for 5 total reps. And then we're going to sit up and do some deep breathing and then do a second set of that to kind of finish out at least the exercise for the day, and we'll breathe to kind of finish. Sound cool? Love it. Okay. So let's get in that position. Feet flat on the ground, knees bent. You can have your feet about hip width apart if you want. Almost like you're just standing, kind of wiping your feet off at a doorstep. Sound cool? So lying down in this position here, let's get your feet kind of under you. Let's drive up nice and high. You're on that upper back shoulder area. And then you're slowly just placing your upper back 1 segment at a time down on the ground, almost like a little slinky spine, getting into that mid low back. Now maybe the top of the low back, mid low back, bottom part of the low back, and then finishing with that pelvis and tailbone. 1. Let's bring it back up high. Slowly placing that upper back 1 segment at a time. Taking that elevator down the spine, coming in contact with the ground. Glutes are squeezed, chin is tucked. Low back now. Facing that low back, and then the pelvis, and then the tailbone. 2, 3 left, guys. Hips up high. Starting to place that upper back segments on the ground. Mid back, upper lower, middle lower, lower, pelvis, tailbone. 3 down. Let's do 2 more. I love it. Up, mid back down, 1 segment at a time. Being very gentle, almost like your spine is a sticker that you're just gently smoothing down against that surface. Control. Good. 4 down. Let's bring it up for 1 more. Down 1 segment at a time. Nice and slow. This should take you at least 10 seconds to lower this thing, if not 30. Good. I love it. Okay. Let's kind of sit up in our kneeling position. Let's just go through about 10 deep breaths here. Okay. So it's a nice tall spine. Okay. All I want is 5-second inhale through the nose, toe cramp, 5-second exhale through the mouth. Okay. One more breath. Cool. All right, we're gonna finish here with 6 kinetic squats, okay? The only difference between what you normally do when you do an air squat and you just drop into space and what we're gonna do with these kinetic squats is that with these kinetic squats, you're going to pull yourself down into the squat using things like your hip flexors and these front shins that we just worked on with our ankles here, okay? So I'm gonna try and back up a little bit so I can do these with you guys and give you some perspective on what we're looking for here. So with this, you want to find your squat stance that is comfortable for you, right? Like you don't want to try to do stuff you really can't, quote unquote, do. So when I do this squat, I'm going to have my feet a little bit wider than hip, you know, just like I would during a normal squat. When I do this, I'm going to initiate creating tension in my midline. I call it 30% tension. I don't need to be like ready to take a punch from Ivan Drago here, but I definitely need to have some firmness in the midline here and in this lower back here to keep myself from just waddling around when I squat, okay? So when I do this, I want to have some tension in this front line pulling me down. I want to have tension in my sort of front lower leg to help pull me down into that squat. We just spent a lot of effort working on things like this pelvis, this ankle, lower leg, hamstring, so that we can pull ourselves down into the squat. We're going to take about 10 seconds to go into the down phase, and we're going to hang out for a second or two, and then we're going to come up under a 10-second tempo as well, okay? Time under tension builds control. Does that make sense? So we're not just going to fall down and explode up, okay? So let's just kind of come from here. You can do your hands out in front if you like. You can have your hands at your side. You can have hands, I don't even care, wherever you want. Let's start the initiation of that first squat. Pull yourself down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold for 1, 2, and then we're up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Rep number 2. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 1, 2, and then up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. Pull it down for 3, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then hold for 1, 2, and then back out for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it down for a 4. Keep that weight through the heels and midfoot. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 1, 2, and then back up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have 2 reps left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. 1, 2, and back up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Last rep, best rep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 with a 1, 2, and then back up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Last thing I want to do, we're just going to kind of hold this bottom squat, up to 2 minutes. Okay. I'm going to go for 2. You guys can go for as long as is comfortable. That's totally fine. If you need to use assistance, or if you need to use something like a little block to kind of barely set on, you'd still like to control an active set position here. So you can touch the block if you need it as like a target, but don't just set on it. Actively push up and away from it. That makes sense? So let's just kind of come down in that squat position. Just hang out here, trying to keep your heels down. If you need a counterweight, that's fine too. Sometimes I've used like a 6-pound med ball in front of me to do this. And create some tension with this bad boy. Just kind of pushing in on it. Just allowing your body to relax and breathe. 4-second inhale. 4-second exhale. Already a minute in. Awesome, guys. Let's slowly kind of come out of that. I'm going to stand up, come to the knees. You guys did a fantastic job today. Wonderful class. I hope you get to go do some squats now, at least, and you use all this awesome mobility we just created, okay? You guys did amazing. I will see you next Wednesday. Love it. Come to Renew every time.